Welcome to Medium Podcast. It's your host, Melissa Nami.
And it's me, Connor.
And today we've got the one, the only, the godfather of the IE comedy scene, the flying Hawaiian himself, co-founder of the Buddy System, George Ferido.
Hey, that's me. That's what a lackluster lineup of credits.
Did I miss an accolade?
They're like bronze medals. They're like, you shouldn't tell anybody. Just let it known. I'm George. Hi. I wanted a high five. I see you high five every fucking start it.
Yes. What's
God
up,
damn it,
dude?
don't we feel real now?
Yes.
Dang, I'm a little left out over here without my high five.
Hey, here's yours. Ready? Boop.
That's a COVID high five.
I would consider you, to me, you're the godfather of the IE comedy scene. I don't know the comedy scene without you.
Nah, true. I guess. Yeah. But that's Aaron. That would be, I guess, I don't know. It's a role. I guess you gets fell upon you. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want any of this.
You just found yourself into it?
Kind of. I just didn't want to drive far for comedy. Mm-hmm. That's all.
The Buddy System was founded in 2000 and...
Officially 17.
17,
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to incorporate ourselves because we were like, it's hard to get people to give this black kid money.
Is that why he got a little Asian on board?
Yeah. He was like, I need a diversity hire.
It cancels out. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool.
No, Asian is a force multiplier. That's what it is. So 3/5 squared, is full.
Okay. I get that, I think. That's cool. So first Aaron was kind of doing the IE thing, and then you guys found each other.
Kind of just through happenstance, through doing open mics mostly, and not wanting to drive. I cannot stress how much this is just because I didn't want to go anywhere. I wanted to do comedy at home, and now we get to. So now we're here.
Yeah, comedy at home is a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having to, it would be the equivalent of having to drive like 45 minutes every time you wanted to play the guitar.
Yeah, no. And that happens, and I'm not about it.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Especially when you're getting paid $20. That $20 makes way more sense when you're driving 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. Fine. But you're still slave laboring me.
Yeah, you don't want to have to ppay for the gas with the money that you got for the gig.
Yes.
That's exactly. Ends up canceling out most of the time anyway. You said, so the first place you performed, okay, first of all, you moved here from Hawaii.
Yeah. Hawaiian. There's no, well, when I left, there was no comedy out there. That's why I left. Again, if I could have done this at home, I would have done this at home. Yeah. But, it didn't seem, I didn't want to do that. Yeah. I wanted to be generally funny. And there are comedians in Hawaii, but they're very specific niche people
to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's like a Boston comic. It's a Hawaiian version of a Boston comic. Like, no, they're hilarious there.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
That's also why I left.
I feel like that happens a little bit even here in, what is that?
It's a bomb. Dan, dude, that's where I'm going with this podcast. I'm bombing so hard.
No.
The
timer's going off. No,
time's up. Time's up. Someone tell George.
I think that was on my laptop. Excuse me. Okay. So when you left, you're saying there was no comedy there, but is there comedy there now?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is cool because now I get to just go back and do shows. That's dope. That's super
nice.
fun.
And it's in Oahu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right in the city. There's a gang of comics out there. It's a small scene. It's a fresh scene. Okay. I would say they probably started in like 2015 to 17 as well.
No one or anything like that?
Not personally, no. I knew through like a family member. That's how small of a world it is out there. That they were like, hey, do you know so-and-so? I was like, oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Hell yeah, okay. And then you moved here straight to which city?
I went to the Bay Area and hung out there trying to get culture shocked into, because it is different. I legitimately, like, I did not see color because back home everyone is the same shade of brown. It's like
everyone's tan.
Yeah, it's curry. I don't know what's in it, but it's good. So when I got out here, like, seeing the real like cultural segregation was a little bit of a culture shock. But so I was hanging out in the Bay Area for 2 years before I even came to SoCal.
See, the opposite of that is so foreign to me because all I ever grew up around was such a melting pot of people. So that's definitely interesting, and I'm sure that's helping with the comedy.
I don't know. I'm just kind of doing it at this point.
Well, like you said, you would have just ended up making, comedy for the island if you ended up staying there, type of thing. So you got submerged into a bunch of foreign different things moving to the Bay, especially the Bay Area.
That wasn't by choice though. That was my friend. I made a friend lived out there, and he was like, "You should come out." And I was like, "That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll be right there."
Cool. So you started there, and then you moved to Riverside when?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Man, dude, I should have written this timeline. I have no idea.
You don't remember? That's actually
not really.
I find like that move that you made so bold, right? From Hawaii.
Yeah, that's a crazy move. Yeah.
I saved $5,000. I sold everything I owned, and I was like, let's see if I can figure this shit out. So I did.
It's a very bold move, and you came here. What was like you got into comedy? What was like the first job you went to get?
From doing comedy? Well, I didn't do comedy when I first got out here. I said, I fucked around in the Bay Area for like 2 years.
Okay, so you didn't move here for comedy.
I did.
Okay.
I did, but getting back on my feet, the culture shock, learning someplace. There was a point where I was sitting I was in the Bay, and I was just sitting in my car. Like, if I drove in the wrong direction for too long, I could get legitimately lost.
Yeah.
I'd never felt that before growing up on an island. It's like, I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, very true.
So really feeling like a fish in a big pond, that I kind of soaked that in, and then I got distracted. I was like 20.
Yeah.
I was like 19 or 20 when I got here. So
that's so crazy.
I was still growing up. I don't know. I was still figuring shit out. So
see, that's something like Connor, after we graduated high school, he moved to NorCal as well.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went up to Chico.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I've
Went
been
up and partied.
here.
Yeah. I was in the East Bay, Hayward, Fremont, Union City.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I did. My very first time on stage was in San Jose.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
It's on tape. I have it.
Do you watch it often or
Nope. No. I'll play it for other people. Like when they're really important in my life, I'm like, all right, I'm going to show you something that I never showed anybody before. Super gay like that. It's so uncomfortable.
It's something you feel like you have to share?
Yeah, it's a cool thing to have.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. When in my death reel, my fucking slideshow when my car goes off a cliff, that'll be in it. So
I'm looking. Are you proud of that set? Like, obviously you got hooked after that first set.
No, because then I spent more time fucking around, and then I probably didn't get serious till I got out here in the Inland Empire when I moved to like Movell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So Movell, and then you ended up to Riverside.
Kind of, yeah, okay. Yeah. And that drive from like Movell to LA was, I guess, the pulse of what the buddy system was. I was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. I'm making $15 to drive out 57 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it didn't make any sense. Yeah, it was awful. And I didn't have air conditioning. I'm not poor, but I was so poor.
Yeah. Well, gosh, in California, that's tough.
So I had a little Integra. It had black leather seats and no air conditioning. And during the summer, I would have to bring an extra pair of clothes so that, like, I'd park at the Flappers in Burbank, I'd park in the Structure, and then I'd change clothes in my car because I sweated through everything. So I'd have a fresh pair, and then I'd go do my set, and then I'd leave. But it was so awful.
So when you say
and that was like last week. I'm so poor, y'all. Help me.
When were you doing mics at Flappers in Burbank? When was that drive?
That had to have been in like 2012.
Okay,
yeah.
So that was pre-IE comedy scene.
Yeah. There was one though. Like there was the old heads. Like Adrian Lopez is part of those old heads, and like Rick Rome and all these other names that no one's ever met, or seen once in a while.
Yeah.
There was a scene, but I don't know, not enough to like really. There wasn't a demand, I would say.
Not to talk it down, but it wasn't like substantial.
Right.
Now.
There was a lot of separate flames burning instead of everybody kind of being collectively part of a scene. I think I got lucky in that I recognized it when I had and I could. Like there was now enough comics to sustain something. It just we all needed somewhere to go. Is all.
Yeah. So by happenstance, I met the co-founder with George, this gentleman named...
He's like a ninja, right?
Yeah.
He just kind of goes from place to place.
He was really nice, this gentleman, Aaron Chase. And so I'm guessing you met him, and was the buddy system something that... Was it already an entity or something that was becoming when you met him, or did you guys kind of collaborate and create it together?
I'm like a cat. I gotta sit, I gotta observe for a little while and be like, all right, I guess I can fuck with this guy.
Okay.
So I went to a couple of his open mics and I saw that like he was at the Hideaway and it was in there. So he would be the guy hosting, and then he would run upstairs, go outside and be like, hey guys, running a comedy show downstairs if you guys want to check it out. I'm hosting, I'll be right back. And then he'll run down the stairs, and then I was watching him do this 17 times a night. And I was like, this guy, he's definitely not making any money. Otherwise he'd have a partner, and he also doesn't know what he's doing. So he needed some direction. And so we met officially, I would say, at the rock climbing gym.
Okay, very neat.
He recognized me because I'm not awful at comedy. You know, like that's...
So you'd see each other doing open mics, and then you saw each other at the rock
saw me
climbing gym.
doing his open mic.
Okay.
At the Hideaway.
Yeah.
And he knew who I was.
Neat.
I think I may have offered to like run sound for a sec, because I was like, look, you need a second.
Yeah.
Like, let me play some music in between so that you're not sprinting back and forth. And that's kind of where the buddy system started.
Okay.
Yeah, he was literal... he was making money, and then he'd break me off a little piece, and I was like, oh, that was very nice. I would have been here regardless. But, so
take what you can get.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And so from that moment on, how did you guys bring it to life and turn it into what it is today?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because I think what you provide is I think it's awesome. You know, you give people a space to not only go create, but to go work on what they're trying to do. You give them a free place to practice the First Amendment, like free speech. And I think it's incredible what you do.
Melissa Nemi, she practices the Second Amendment because she's strapped. Guns,
Let's go.
Unconcealed carry with this lady.
But I think it's so unique, kind of what I've witnessed over the last year and a half.
Yeah, I have to agree that Riverside like DIY scene is a little lacking as of the past like 15 or so years, and it's nice having people like get people out there to do art, whether it be comedy or music or anything.
I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, same. You know, that's how I feel too. This is cool. I think I got lucky. You know, as to what happened, where I was, I could recognize something first. Like, it kind of just feels like getting an early buy-in on like an IPO. I was like, it was there. Somebody just had to do something with it. Yeah. And so Aaron was there. He was doing something, and I was like, I think I could offer some guidance. I was probably 4 or 5 years in by that point. So like my voice, I kind of knew what it was. I knew how to work out. I was like so tired of, had I needed to drive so far for another year or two, I might have quit. Yeah. Like it wouldn't make sense to continue to drive out to LA for maybe 6 minutes of stage time. Maybe.
That makes sense. That's something I never really had to experience, I guess, because I've been so, and it's something that, you know, when you say 2018, I get a little bitter inside, just because I'm like, if I was just a little out of my own character back in the day and was like walking around downtown Riverside on a random night, maybe I would have stumbled upon stand-up comedy sooner. But ask Connor, like my whole lifetime growing up, I'd be in bed by like 8:30 for work or school the next day.
Yeah,
and I'm still awake.
That's what makes Aaron so special, because that's when he would be getting to downtown Riverside to busk. He was like, I'm trying to learn how to play the violin. So he would learn how to he would practice playing violin on the street. He'd bring his bass guitar, a car battery, an amp, and he'd put his thing out, and he'd make some scratch. I mean, he's out there for 4 or 5 hours, but he would make decent money. And I think that is like the lifeblood of what the buddy system is. Is like Aaron on the street with a car battery, doing something he enjoys for other people to enjoy. That's kind of what's pumped life into the buddy system.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I feel like it's a wave. And so I feel lucky too. I'm just glad I don't have to do that drive anymore. Or I do it when I want to.
I'm grateful that it exists and it's what it is today for myself, you know, because I never had to do that drive in order to practice.
Welcome. I'm just kidding.
Well, thanks to you guys, like I haven't had to go far away because I really do think that is a thing, getting good at comedy. You know what I mean? It's one thing to be funny, but it's one thing, can you convey that to the masses?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you be funny consistently? I think that's what it's about.
That's another one too. So you inherited.
That's my medium. You know?
Hey, it is. That is his medium. He's a comedian. George.
Yeah.
Ferido.
Well, I'm fat. It's my large right now. It's double XL if I'm being honest. I'm a little fat, but whatever.
You're looking good, bro.
You're giving us your shirt size.
You're looking good.
Yeah.
Connor thinks you're cute.
Yeah, I think you're cute, dude. You don't worry about it.
I'm so fluffy.
Oh my gosh.
Every time I do those year wraps, I'm like, damn, I used to be skinnier. Damn, why did I keep going? But
No, I mean, I did creep on your Instagram pretty far to do some research, right?
And you were like, oh, nothing at all.
Well, it seems like fitness is something that you've always kind of pursued to a degree, whether it's something you were pursuing heavily or lightly, you know what I mean? And that's good. Consistency is key for health and wellness.
Because high school, I was very fat.
I saw that. I saw your school photo. You were
very
round.
fat, yeah. Rotund.
Yep.
Yeah, friend zoned a lot, you know. But that was I was searching for.
That's how you got funny.
Well, I was funny. That's my problem, is that I spent so much of my life searching for that thing, that that medium, that spark. I did everything: basketball, airsoft, paintball, like top to bottom. I've tried it all, and the thing that was my thing was the thing that I was already doing. Like I was just my coping mechanism with life was.
I love that perspective.
Became my thing, and I was like, oh, fuck, what a waste of time.
That's a great perspective.
I wish I started sooner too. I reflect that, like you're 2018.
Yeah.
I wish I started as soon as I got here. There was no reason why I should not have.
Yeah.
Except, life and shit.
You were growing. You inherited the buddy system due to.
That's a good way.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this, due to Aaron moving to Chicago to pursue his comedy career a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, he would say I was his Joe Biden to his Barack Obama. So, So inherited by, we are somehow both the wizard behind the curtain. We are both Oz. So there's a lot of teamwork and stuff. But I guess the technical aspect, the physical day-to-day thing, I was like chief operating officer.
Okay.
And so he left, and I was like, all right, we'll figure it out, I guess, without you. Cool. Great. Awesome.
All right. So to keep that analogy consistent, how did you find William Henderson as your Kamala Harris if you're Mr. Joe Biden?
Sexy. Yeah. Sexy. He fell into the role. He very
How did you find that powerful black woman? Mixed race woman.
Through William Henderson. That's how we find most of our black women. William Henderson.
White candy. Let's go.
Yeah. Mr. Blue Eyes. We fell into it. I mean, we are all part of this wave of the Inland Empire comedy scene. Okay. And we were all doing it in the same area. Aaron, I would say, would connect more with his class of the Inland Empire, being Will and Gil and Alec and those folk. They were all kind of in and around the Hideaway, whilst I was over in Flappers, Claremont, with like Cody and Quentin and, people that had already found their voice, like Connor McSpadden and Ramsey Badawi. Like, dudes,
never heard of any of these guys.
But you'll see them pop up on like the Comedy Central pages and stuff now. Cool. And it's like, oh, cool, I'm doing nothing.
Oh no, that's not the case.
I've done nothing.
That's not the case.
But I mean, I'm doing it to do it now. That's what's fun about it. Now that doing comedy doesn't cost me money. It makes me money now. And
that's actually great.
Like, it's for the hobby to sustain itself is, I think, the goal, at least goal number one, in becoming a tier 5 society where now we can explore space. You have to be self-sustaining first. Yeah. So
I will say the dynamic in this room is pretty unique because you're kind of the cultivator, the creator of this scene that I've entered.
That sounds so pretentious. That's why people hate us, though.
It's not pretentious. It's just, it is what it is. Like, you do need to recognize at some point that you're doing something great and unique. Like, you can't deny that, as humble as you are.
Part of something great and unique. That I can agree with.
But this thing wouldn't exist. I mean, Connor, this is the dynamic. He's the cultivator. I've entered this thing. I'm someone who's enjoying it. And you've been there present as an audience member at their mics, and you've been to their shows. You've seen them put on the Ontario Improv. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, this is pretty cool. And what do you think?
Yeah, I have a great time at all the shows. Yeah, I feel like they're really well put together. That's the way you guys put on the music before you go up, all that stuff. It feels like a show rather than people going up for an open mic.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, team effort. It's a buddy system. It's gay. It's
Production
so gay.
makes a difference.
Don't forget your battle buddy. All right.
I will say, I do think your position is pretty interesting in how you see so many comics come and go for various reasons, different skill types and people who stick to it with different motivation levels. How do you enjoy that position that you find yourself in?
It keeps me humble, I think.
Yeah.
Seeing people come in, kind of know who they are, already communicate with their own voice, and also be a good writer. It's like, oh, fuck. all right. The bar gets raised, I feel like. Certainly in other aspects, the bar is significantly lowered from class to class, but there's a point where it's like, all right, I have to stay consistent too. Like, I can't just fall off. There's no... Like, if no one else is doing quality shows and that's not their goal, then who else?
Yeah.
And I would like to do this, and I just would not like to blow my brains out every show that I go to.
That makes sense.
That doesn't seem unreasonable. I try to enjoy the show.
When you see people come in, can you kind of tell who's going to stick around and who's just doing it as like a bucket list item or hobby style entry thing?
I used to say yes, but I'm going to say no now because, like you said, people's reasons for sticking around are so different. Like, I don't know why, you guys like playing video games or why you like doing music. Everyone's reasons is different. So why people stick around is also different, and that's changed. Like, there's been a few that I'm like, you're the one that came out of that shitstorm of a year. Every class has a little, you're like, what is it, what metaphor am I looking? Oh, you're like panning for gold.
Yeah,
you just fucking shit stew. Oh, there's a little bit, like shit a little bit more.
Yeah,
and
sometimes the shit just sticks around though.
For sure. That's why you have to just love panning for gold. Like, if that's what you enjoy, great, because you're gonna do fine.
That's your new hobby. Is panning for gold.
Yeah.
Even the comedy scene has Yoko Ono's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like, why are you here? But yes, I'll take your money. Yes, absolutely. This isn't gonna write itself.
That's such a fascinating little thing. So, you would see people from here in the IE out in places like Burbank pretty typically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is like my friends and I were the IE comics, the Inland Empire. I would say more from like Pomona to the high desert. And we were the ones going out to LA to find the gold.
Yeah.
And most of the people that I started off with who are funnier, better writers just stopped because it was expensive. It's unsustainable. You have to find your footing. You have to find it pretty quickly. Otherwise, circumstances will get in the way.
Yeah.
So
I can totally see how that can happen. I was kind of thinking that myself when I came into the scene. I was still like having a couple beers here and there if I felt like it. And I kind of would see everybody else around me. I'm like, everyone's getting 2 or 3 drinks when they come. The most money I'd spend is if Chantel came in tow and I had to buy her some beers, you know what I mean? But I would see that, I'm like, damn, like this can be a very expensive pursuit, especially if you're not getting a Gatorade or some cups of water at these mics or whatever.
It kind of sucks. And so when people suck at comedy, I'm like, why are you doing this? There's way better ways to spend your evening than embarrassing yourself for $5 and feeling resentment towards the building for no reason. It's like, fuck the W, bro. This place sucks. Like,
it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. But trust me, I felt that way. I'm like, this place fucking blows, dude. They don't even know.
You're gonna tip over one of those heaters.
Oh no, we're not touching those. Oh, that's the holy grail. Don't break those. I've been trying to get heaters back there for years.
They did make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the IE comedy scene like before COVID? So 2018, the buddy system came in the scene. It's you.
Fucking chaos. There was points. So you're talking like
hookers, people doing cocaine. It was wild.
Where do you want me to start? Okay,
really?
We started a riot downtown, but that's a different off-camera topic that we'll talk about. Shit got wild, but
like a real riot.
Kind of. It was part of a wave. Shit happens, all right, and
Where
it
was
just
I?
snowballs.
We're gonna start a riot. That's crazy. I want to hear that. Okay,
Yeah, it was it was chaos. We were doing 6 shows a week.
Goodness.
For a couple of months.
When did you work?
During the days.
When did you sleep?
I'm still catching up.
Yeah.
It feels like it sometimes. You fit it in, but it was also like, it was fun. It was like the internet in the early 2000s. It's kind of wild out here that you guys are just going to give us money and let us do this. So we're going to do this until they're like, stop. And we did it at Cupcakes and Curiosities. Like, they had a little stage in their little bakery.
That little spot on the back of Main Street.
Yep.
Okay,
yep. We did
cool.
it there. Like, so, and
It's
that
a neat
was
little arcade area they got right there.
So Sunday to like Friday was basically a mic run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those cats got good quick.
It sounds like it. And then COVID struck, and what did the comedy scene turn into during COVID?
It shut down. I mean, that was kind of crazy too, because people were doing and are still doing Zoom comedy.
Okay.
Really? What's that like?
It sucks, I assume. I can't imagine. Nothing. I've never been to something that had Zoom attached to it and was like, I really enjoyed that experience.
Yeah, neither have I.
Not
But it's
one
mostly
time.
business shit.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get audience feedback on Zoom? Is there like a button that makes something like...
Oh, I really don't know. I've never done it. Because it doesn't seem like it offers anything to the thing that I want to do.
I understand that.
I don't want to do it just to say I'm doing it. It's like I would like to make some kind of progress if I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And during COVID, I went the other way. I was just like, I got time. I'm going to go running. And I ran a lot.
You got in shape.
I got it. No. I just ran a lot.
Yeah. Did you continue writing as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took maybe 5 or 6 months off, and then jump right back into it with like some backyard shows and outdoor shows. I mean, Riverside on its own is kind of the Wild West sometimes too, and there's a lot of places that would let you be doing comedy on their outside patio just if it meant they could have a couple of heads in there to keep the lights on.
Okay.
So it was a symbiotic Wild West relationship with everyone. I mean, we did it at Placitas outside.
Okay.
And
yeah, that place is a little dicey.
yeah, it was fun. It's running with weights.
Do you know where that spot's at?
No, I don't.
It's like on University where all the hobos hang.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we also did it at the Getaway. Like, it's a bus stop.
Yeah.
Right there. And we're just telling dick jokes at 9:00. Right on campus.
Just anything to keep you happy during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
That was pre-pandemic, actually, now that I think, the Getaway. Yeah.
it's all viable. You were still able to practice your medium. You're still able to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, do you think writing can be beneficial on its own? Or
yeah. I don't. I realize my philosophy on comedy may not be right.
Give it to us.
But just for the way I do it, writing is necessary. Just because I'm very verbose sometimes, and I need to, in life and in my art, kind of trim the fat because I'm fat, and so are my jokes. But in the world where you only get 5 minutes, it would make a lot of sense to have just straight fire for 5 minutes.
A well-written 5 minutes.
Yeah, instead of meandering from town. What was I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Especially if I'm poor and I'm paying $5, like, I'm not trying to waste my time.
Yeah.
So, because when I started, I could only go up once a week, so that 5 minutes meant a lot to get it up. But I was writing for the rest of the 4. I don't do that anymore. I'm now lazy, and I'm gonna shrivel up into some weird old comic that's never done anything. But it's fun.
At least it's fun.
Yeah, like I'm having a good time.
I feel like you're okay though, man.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I mean, I did the Brea. That was cool. I've never done the Brea.
Oh yeah,
before.
you just came off of Brea.
Yeah,
How did
it was fun.
you have a good time?
My set was fine.
Nice.
My set was okay.
That's good.
Nobody noticed how hurtful that bomb was, but
Oh
whatever.
really?
Whatever.
You felt as though you were on a little lull.
I don't know what it was. I think I was just off for the day. That happens. I'll have another one. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. It wasn't indicative of like my performance, but I could have done better, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you
but nobody outside of myself knows that.
knowing you now, I don't think you could probably walk out and someone could have died from laughter and you would still say something similar to what you're saying right now.
No. I'll admit when I murder, but I also think that like that bar should be high. You shouldn't go around being like, yeah, I fucking crushed last night. No, you crush a couple times a year.
Yeah.
You know, when Rogan's like, oh, this guy, I watch him murder every night in the OR, and then you go see that person perform on a Tuesday night in the OR, and you're like, oh, this is comedy. This is just comedy.
Yeah.
It's not special, but it is comedy.
More underwhelming than you would assume.
Yeah. So I try not to. I take him on the chin, but I didn't. I by no means murdered.
Yeah. I got you. How do I ask this one? So you said your philosophy is not one that you think people would agree on. Would you share your philosophy with us for comedy?
I mean, it's be funny.
Can you?
Yeah, be funny.
That's it?
yeah, for sure.
That's it.
It seems
Two words.
No.
His philosophy is 2 words.
I agree. That's the problem. I agree. I think it's right. I don't understand why people disagree with me, but if you look, like, nepotism runs comedy. But it's like, doesn't it suck to be on a show with 9 terrible comics? Like,
It does.
Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that feel like you're wasting your fucking time? But apparently not. So I have to accept it. Like, it's my way is not the only way to do it.
Yeah. See, before this podcast, we were talking about potentially that we
wrong.
might be on a show together. And me being excited, that was so genuine because I can now confidently try and promote that show. I can't guarantee not only, hey, I'll do my best to be funny, but hey, I know this guy, George, I know he's going to be funny too.
Right. That's what I tell him. It's like, look, I'm probably going to bomb, but my friends are going to you're going to have a great time. You're going to enjoy yourself.
Give everybody else the credit.
Yeah, no. That's usually what happens on big shows that like the buddy system is connected to. I'm so connected in every aspect of it that by the time it's showtime, I'm kind of checked out of it already. You know,
Why do
so
you
it's
say
harder
that?
to be present. Because I am the one that does push all the flyers daily. You know, we talk about it in all the podcasts.
Yeah.
We push it at every mic. Like it is a very analog push for our style of promotion.
Yes.
And it's exhausting. And it's I've since like changed, I guess, my lifestyle to be able to focus more on comedy. So the process is more enjoyable now. But up until this point, like once I got to the Ontario Improv, it's like, if someone comes in and like, hey, are you excited? I'm like, I just want it to be done. I would like to just be over. And I would like to go back to going on a Thursday and bombing and it really not meaning that much.
Yeah.
But moving up to it is like, it's so stressful.
Yeah. No, I get that. You're the reason, if you check out that little quote on top, you're the reason why I wrote that. Pressure is a privilege. And that's kind of like how I felt when you had me, and I'm very thankful, on the Ontario Improv.
I'm thankful for you. People will come to shows when the show doesn't suck, and that requires people who are smart and good writers to come and do comedy. And people like you are rare.
I wouldn't have been able to get to the point that I'm at without the buddy system.
No, you came in with your voice, though. That's the thing. You were asking earlier if I could tell who's going to stick around. No, but I can tell who's got a knack for it, and you were one of those.
Okay.
And you it's very, be like, oh, they should stick around, they should stick around, they should stick around. And unfortunately, that one sticks around, and you're like, really? That's so crazy, because the rest were so good.
The ones who decide to commit to it.
Yeah, Mike James.
That's not true.
Well, Mike James is solid. That's the
I
thing.
know.
But just like the rest of us, when he started and I saw him start, like we all sucked. Like we
I
were
would have
garbage.
loved to see you guys at the beginning. Like that's where I just wish I wish I was in the mood for a cupcake on a random Wednesday night. Like, why
Yeah.
wasn't that something I did, you know? Because then I would have stumbled upon this so much sooner.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, like, I feel like I've come into myself a lot more this last year than I have over the last, 6 years. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you've done a lot the past year.
It's
and a half.
different.
It's different.
I used to be in this I used to be so geometric in the way I would think. I wouldn't be
fun.
able to think outside of my own little box.
Is that a lesbian joke?
I could think outside of my box. My head goes in other boxes sometimes, you know. Stupid.
Yeah. No, I recognize your perspective. I just think I'm afraid people think that we and I am pretentious about it. I'm trying not to be, like, because it can be. What we're doing is special. I understand it's unique. No one else is doing it. I don't think any other group of people could have really done it. But we're not doing anything necessary, like special. There's no magic behind it. We're just doing the work.
Yeah.
You know, same
work is magic.
Well, I like to think that what you're doing that's special is actually doing it. Besides, a lot of people just won't do it.
Yeah,
and you're doing it, and that's what's special about it.
That's true.
Exactly.
Man.
The work is the magic. It's
You're cute too. I like it.
Thank you.
You don't have to butter me up. I'll just tell you.
It's a love story. That's something that's big, though, you know, and it's very rare that you, how do I say it? It's different when you're able to practice something somewhere you're comfortable as well. And all of us being local to the area, being able to drive familiar streets on the way there, all of those things reduce certain layers of anxiety that are added to doing a show.
Yeah. I think my experience in comedy was I didn't really get up my like teeth in it until I found a group of people to connect to and kind of grind it out with.
That's cool.
And we were lucky enough to happen upon Flappers Claremont, the only comedy club in California that was actively ignored by management.
Really?
It was kind of the Wild West, and the people that ran it when I started there were really just fans of comedy. They were like, hey, we just don't want this to be a terrible night. You know, like we all have to be here. Let's try to have a good time. And they did. And so it made the place feel safe. And that's kind of what allowed me to come into my own. And I think that's a productive environment for comedy. And I just don't want to drive far.
I think that's good motivation.
Yeah. Gas is expensive. It's just crazy.
That's very true. And especially like, that's what you're saying. Like, I'm curious how many people who with potential did get weaved out due to that type of, because driving is exhausting. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I haven't really like gone and explored other mics, because I drive so much for work. Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah, you need a helicopter. You got a Kobe Bryant from mic to mic. Just,
I wish.
Here comes Melissa again, or fucking Apache.
It'd be perfect, because then I could actually maybe sleep because I don't want to be a pilot.
Yeah.
So you would go out to LA in order to network with comics?
No. I hate that part of it.
No. How did you?
That's why I say, like, I'm a cat. I think I'm a cat. I'm very introverted. Like I'll sit in the back and then I'll try to be funny. If you think I'm funny, you want to talk after the show, cool. But if not, I'm just trying to be funny. So
yeah, and even if you're a social butterfly, networking in LA just sucks.
Yeah, that too.
It's like that place sucks when it comes to networking. Everybody there sucks.
I just came from an audition. I don't wear what is an audition. I'm just trying to tell some jokes.
Is that something you've ever been interested in, that side of comedy, the acting, or? No,
not necessarily. I would love to just be able to do this, you know, and that's what I try to keep perspective on, is like I'm doing this at the very bottom level of where I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm in that, like, it's paying for itself. It's paying some bills. It's allowing me the space to be creative and free. So while nobody knows my name, that's okay.
there's
they fucking will.
One day.
Yeah, we know your name, dude. You're good.
They will know the one, the only, the George Ferido. George Ferido. No.
Who?
How do you recommend comics branch out to get? Because like I feel like that's something that I see a lot, is people that are good, people that I mean, because you say you feel pretentious. I'm like, if you're pretentious, who the fuck am I to have an opinion? You know what I mean? On if someone's good or has potential or something like that.
I think I just don't want people to think that I think I'm entitled to anything. I think I'm entitled to the laughs that I earn 5 minutes at a time. That's it.
Anyone to Connor, would you consider someone who runs their own mic but throws their name into a bucket at random is someone who behaves in an entitled way?
What do you mean by throws their name into a bucket at random?
He goes into the bucket at the W the same way as everybody else does. He doesn't go up when he feels like it. He pulls his name. It could be when the room is full and he would get theoretically the most bang for your buck, or he'll go up when it's 2 people in the crowd. He doesn't. You don't favor yourself.
You just enjoy the process.
Kind of, yeah. But it's also, and you know, to relate it to fitness, it's if I don't do that in that room, if I don't also just participate as a comic, I'm doing a half rep.
Yeah.
That's not a full, I'm not going full range of motion. And why I'm there, why would I waste my time with a half?
That makes sense.
You know, let's do the full work. Let's do the workout, like it's called, and get as much. That's the bang for the buck. It's the consistency. It's not just going up when you want to. But people think I bump, and I do. So that's why I try so hard to not.
What do you think are the top 3 George Ferido conspiracies out there?
That he's secretly a lesbian. I don't know.
Now the women you attract make sense.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe my lens of the world is skewed a little.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna blow my brains out. You're gonna have my blood just splattered in the studio.
Because I entered the scene September 2022.
That's crazy to hear. Damn, I've been doing it for a decade, and then you come in.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean,
Shit.
it feels like I've been doing it for a while for me, right? But I haven't.
Your New Testament, then that's crazy.
Yeah, and I haven't felt any type of animosity. I haven't felt any type of favoritism from you guys. On the contrary, I feel like you guys are very real with people who other people might be more kind to for beneficial reasons, like other people who have shows and stuff like that. You tell people how it is.
Yeah. That makes sense. Wouldn't you want to know if there's something you could work on? I know I do. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like if Will bumps my knuckles at the W, I know that was a good set. I was like, okay, let me go back, see what I did right. But you shouldn't lie to your friends like that.
Yeah.
How are you guys supposed to grow if you do that?
Yeah. What's going to benefit all of us is if we're all fucking good and there's this open mic that a random person can go to and be like, that was fun. Like, that was a really good time. That doesn't exist if you lie to people.
Yeah.
And your show sucks and you have 13 comics that suck.
I think that's where you do, like, I'm like, you need to do this, George, but you do need to recognize, like, there are regulars. There's people who come back every Thursday to watch the show. It's cool.
Crazy. There's relationships that started at that show.
No way. There's people who fell in love.
There's at least 2 that they're like, oh, we've been dating for 3 months, then we met here. Oh, this is cute as fuck. Yeah.
George, you should officiate their weddings.
I'm telling you, holler at your boy. I'm an officiant. What am I?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be so cute.
What word am I looking for?
You'll punch up their vows for them.
For sure. And then I'll bartend their reception later. I'll MC their slideshow. I'm a total package deal.
That's perfect. You're a one-man show for a wedding.
Yeah.
That's like something that I've been finding so neat when I see people in the crowd. Just they show up continuously, they show up regularly, and they're there for a couple hours. Mm-hmm. They're interested in what the people around us have to say.
Yeah. I think that's dope. I think that's cool. I would love that to happen all the time and at every day in every venue in Southern California. But it's like I said, that's not how it works. That's not how it's run. It doesn't hurt though that if you do run it that way. It's the stairs. It's the stairs to success. Is all. Like, we'll get there. We'll be strong as fuck. We'll be funny. It'll be fun. And then we can all look back and be like, that's crazy that they're still doing it there. And then you go there. Like Aaron came out and he was like, there's a lot of people that I don't know in your flyers and you're like, they have no names in my head. I was like, yeah, because there's 2 classes now that came up, I would say, but between Aaron leaving and coming back.
Yeah. What an interesting thing.
Yeah, we should have yearbooks.
That'd be pretty cute.
Empire
That
yearbooks.
would be kind of cool.
Right?
That'd be pretty cute.
I want to make like baseball cards for people. With their stats, stage presence, and
that'd be pretty neat. Mm-hmm. Their charisma.
Yeah.
Has the buddy system ever been, and correct me if I get the number wrong, have you guys been 86th from anywhere?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Places where it's like, we're going to try something else. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Comedy's not really sustainable. And at some point, if you have comedy there, the owners will be upset.
Why do you say that?
Because if someone's going to say something, or if someone doesn't say something, then someone is doing something. And it's not comedy. I think it's show business. Like, someone's going to do something at some point. Comedy's just the easiest thing to 86.
They decide karaoke's safer.
Yeah, yeah. And with comedy, you just have to talk to one person. I feel like if you're trying to get a band out from it, that's a couple people you got to discuss that with.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a problem. So,
would you give us an inside scoop? Is the Buddy System planning their next Ontario improv show?
always, constantly, and
Love it.
consistently. Yeah, always.
cool.
I'm gonna be doing 30.
Hell yeah.
So
let's go.
Yeah.
Woo.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's I'm in my lull, I guess, in my rhythm of the creative process. So I have to.
Do you think that's something that's going to ignite like a flame in you to create more?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of its own beast at this point. Like it comes when it comes. I try to push when I can, where I can, to get my brain more excited. But if I try too hard, is sometimes the problem.
Okay.
It's like too like like if you're looking for a relationship, you're not gonna find one. You gotta stop. It's fishing. You're fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing and panning for gold. We're gonna get through the metaphors on this podcast.
All of them. Let's keep them
Get 'em
going.
out.
All of these aquatic metaphors. Let's keep going. Let's talk about under the sea.
Okay, perfect. So when I got my toes wet at the
More lesbian jokes? That's crazy.
I was trying to do aquatic. I did water. It was water for aquatic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Okay.
Both of you.
My
That's
toes
fair.
don't get wet. I'm just pointing that out.
Okay.
Not even in the shower, huh?
Not even.
As I take baths and I just hang my feet outside.
When I first started when I first started getting my toes wet and joining the comedy scene, I think it was just a month later, 2 months maybe, I got to see you guys perform at the Ontario Improv.
Oh man.
And coming into it so fresh, that felt like larger than life. I was like, dude, these guys are fucking doing it.
And you realize you were wrong. It was just a couple of dudes who got lucky.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's funny how it means everything and it means nothing simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's a very conflicting feeling.
Right. It's I think it is one of the few actual mediums where like you really gotta just love it. You gotta love doing it. You gotta enjoy it for doing it, and the accolades will come.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people that are eager to put those accolades in their Instagram bio instead of just let it come.
Is that something that happens with music a lot too? Like people want to take the title before they do the work?
I mean, I guess I would think so. It probably happens a lot, yeah. But you can never really tell until you listen to the music if they have it.
Because I'm like, is that something that's fueled comedy, like the narcissism behind it? That you know, if we're gonna use the metaphor of the invisible hand, like what's pushing people forward, I do feel like a lot of it is like, one, false confidence. And then two, just like a grandiose idea of themselves.
Yeah, well, also a lot of people are there just for the image too. They're not really there for the art. They're there to look cool or whatever.
To be a comedian and not do comedy.
I make fun of all the boys that I see flirting with the girls at the bar, and I'm like, you guys didn't
Stop
even
bombing, and then you can flirt with the girls.
I'm like that. It's just so funny to me because like all I want to do, it's everything to me to be funny when I'm there.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, if Chantel saw me talking to any other woman, she would axe me and axe her, maybe murder everybody in the room.
That's why we had to bring fire extinguishers and replace the axes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She wouldn't axe your exes.
But it's like I can't imagine like going to work and thinking like I'm gonna try to get some ladies tonight at work, because that's what it is to me when I'm there. It's like I'm coming to do work, and even if I bomb, I'll consider that work done because I know what I need to work on. I know if I have some takeaways or whatever.
Right.
But I feel like all of that gets washed away or flushed away when you like your motivation is diluted by the pursuit of pussy.
For sure. Then that's why, thankfully, I've never gotten laid doing comedy. So as very early on, I was like, I'm gonna just stop. Like if somebody likes what I do, fine. But no, I've never. I mean, I did get a number that one time.
Oh, I did. I remember that at the W. Some girl slipped you her number. What's
no,
up?
it was at the brewery. Was it at the W? No, it was at the brewery. Yeah.
Ukaipa?
No,
was I there?
No, you weren't there. It was at Christopher Keith's house open mic.
Oh, I was there. Wasn't I? Or it was the weekend before.
Maybe after.
It was the week after. You told me about it. That's why I feel.
Possibly.
And I remember doing this exact same thing.
And then I went under the mic, and then yeah, we were there. This is deja vu, y'all. What pill did we take? But no, I've never really gotten like,
Everything
from
kind of
doing
mushes
comedy.
up to me sometimes.
No, yeah, for sure. Especially if you're sleep deprived and you're driving hours, like that makes a lot of sense that your brain is mashed potatoes.
I do my best. That's why I have notes. That way I can keep up with it. I still want to know what you think are the top 3 George Ferido conspiracies.
That I'm mean. I only book my friends, and I'm entitled, and in some aspect, those are all true.
People
That's
think
weird.
you're-
I've been hearing that from a lot of people.
Yeah, and they're right. Is my point. They're not wrong. I do only book my friends, but I'm sorry that I choose my friends by who's funny. Like, it just happens to line up.
Sorry,
that way.
my friends are funny.
Yeah, I apologize that my friends know how to tell a joke.
They follow your philosophy of be funny.
Yeah, just do. Isn't that the goal? How to do comedy? Be funny.
I feel like I also see people on your flyers that I know have actively challenged you in the past. Those aren't just your friends.
Oh, true. Yeah, but it also, if you're funny, cool.
Yeah.
I just don't want to blow my brains out at that show. That's such a low bar that
Yeah.
people get offended by.
Are there funny people that are difficult to work with? And
100%. Yeah.
does
for
that
sure.
deter you from working with them?
Yes, that would never prevent me from booking them, but if there's an easier book who's, potentially closer or offers something else, some kind of other benefit of being reliable, showing up on time, or maybe even bringing another comic to check it out, then that, yeah. But being hard to work with, that seems, I don't want to do that at work. I
Yeah,
don't want to.
that's true. When people make it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like hiring musical comedians?
No. Because how do you follow that? You're like, oh, God damn it, dude. What are you doing? We're not the same. You brought a prop and you're good with your prop. I have 17 lines with penis in them that I hope these people laugh at. Fuck. Stop it.
That's such a funny reason. How do you follow that? You're like, because music
Yeah.
is in and of itself just so entertaining if you have a
Yeah,
melody
for sure.
and a rhythm. Yeah.
You literally tell people where the hook is. Like, I have to hide it.
Oh my God, you're right in the chorus.
Yeah.
That's when you know.
What's the song about? Oh, in the club. Oh, they're in the club.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Would you ever hire someone who played with puppets?
Yeah, I'm not bad either. Like I've tried everything. I've tried ventriloquism, I've tried juggling, I've tried flair bartending, I've tried fixing airsoft guns, I've tried so many things. Ventriloquism is on that list.
I have here, you not only do comedy, but you can dance and you can rap. What else can you do? Now, ventriloquism, you said flash, what's flair bartending?
Just throwing the bottle. It's more of an extension of juggling, I would say.
Can you juggle really well?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's not a skill that I've kept sharp, but give me an hour. Yeah, I could pick it back up.
Can you juggle anything?
No, they have to be the same. They all have to be the same size. That's the problem for me.
Okay.
Because it's about a good toss, not a good catch.
So a lot of the things that you're into do require a certain level of commitment.
Yeah. But doesn't the good things?
The things that are rewarding do require commitment.
Yeah,
I believe so.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I do believe they require some type of pure would I say pure motivation? Like pure intention.
Some sort of inner thing that you're trying to satisfy for sure.
One thing that you consistently say that I really like and respect is when I tell you, oh, like I feel nervous or something about a show or a mic, and you're like, oh, that's good. That means you care about it.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
It's funny because I feel so nervous every single time I go up. Something kind of happens when you hit the stage and there's like professionalism that kicks in, and it's just like you're there to do something.
Yeah.
But I wish I had that, like, I say that the confidence of a shirtless homeless man.
To go through life. Yeah. Raw dog life for no reason. Just
Chest high, my chin's high. That's just how they walk through life. And I wish I had that confidence.
Yeah.
But then I see people amongst us, like certain peers with that confidence, and I wouldn't say that benefits them.
for sure. It could come off disingenuine.
Yeah.
Come off try hard. It has to be natural. It has to be earned, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think to master anything, it's about just putting in the hours. And so I think if you book a shitty show that's going to be shitty with shitty comics that were like if you're on a lineup with good comics, you don't want to be the one to fuck the night up. You know, you don't want to be the worst one you want to disappear in the middle. If you can't murder, you're like, all right, no, I just have to do my job.
Yeah.
And that counts as a rep. But having a bad show with bad comics where no one's pushing each other, that's a half rep. Like, why would you? I can get 3 birds with 1 stone by just putting on a good show.
Yeah.
You know, like, it just triples my amount of work that I'm doing there.
That's a really nice perspective to have, because you're only coming in from the point of like wanting to create something that everybody can enjoy.
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
benefits me.
Yeah. But a lot of people, when I see, because, you know, one of the goals that I wanted to give myself this year was to find a show to produce. And I was kind of like reflecting on that goal. And I'm like, okay, what is that to me? And what does that look like in my definition of being successful for myself in this moment? You know what I mean? And it's the creation of your own stage time, which is one of the biggest benefits. Yeah. But I feel like the thing I get scared, I'm like, how do you freaking reach out to comics? Like, it feels like I would be pandering for a network, for a connection as well. It's like, because it almost feels like that, like people who have hit me up in the past consistently that stopped hitting me up are like, oh, when are you going to get your own show? And it's like, what if I don't? Yeah. Are you just going to not talk, you know, not
Most
book
likely.
me,
Most
not book
likely.
me on a show anymore?
Yeah.
So it feels like you need to have that bartering system almost.
Kind of, yeah. Or you could just be hilarious, you know? Like, if someone's legitimately funny and they show up to an open mic, you're gonna probably look that person up, especially as a comic. You're like, who's this person? They're good. They clearly work out somewhere. I wonder where else they work out.
Yeah.
So that is more the flag that I would like to go into an open mic with. Like, just, here's 5 minutes of my work. You like it? Cool, we'll probably talk.
Yeah.
If not, then whatever. There's a dope scene in Riverside now, so.
Yeah. See, and that's something that I've had the luck of experiencing, where I've gone up at the W and someone who I've not only seen in passing, but someone I would like to say that I respect as a comic that doesn't know who the fuck I am. But when I went up and they DM me afterwards and like, hey, you're really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that means
a
everything.
lot, for sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. That's
Feels
the
so
dragon
good.
you're chasing.
It's that thing you told me about, Connor,
The steak
the solo face. Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Okay.
did I not do it right? I feel like I did it like I smelled a skunk.
Yeah, it's kind of like you smelling a skunk. Like that. Damn, that riff's stanky.
It means,
I feel it. Yeah.
I remember just like, oh my gosh, like it's the best compliment I had received. God, trumps most of the compliments
ever, because it means something.
Yeah.
You're working, they're working. It's a mutual respect of like, that was dope. That was super dope.
They didn't have to do that.
For sure.
It's
Yeah.
like 3 steps that they took out of their regular, oh, I'm on my way, or I'm home now. And it just like that means so much.
Yeah. I think this is a philosophy thing. I think every mic is an audition. So just come.
Yeah.
Come ready. Don't be like, oh, what am I going to work on? You don't know who's sitting in the crowd. You genuinely do not know.
Yeah. Be present.
Right. Do the thing you're going to do your work, do something you're proud of, and let the work speak for itself. There are so few good comics that if you're a good comic, you will stand out. You don't have to fucking lie to people. You don't have to show your tits for stage time. You don't, that's girls and guys. Guys, you don't have to take your shirt off because you have boobs to get stage time.
Do dudes do that?
Dude, people do
For
anything
fat
they can
jokes?
for stage. Yeah.
Damn,
To
they'll
get a
degrade
laugh.
themselves.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of degradation in the comedy scene.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
Yeah.
See, that's something that I kind of went in telling myself, like, oh, I'm not going to make like over sexualized jokes or anything like that just because I don't want to be that bitch.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because that bitch.
It's okay to be that bitch, but it's good to have that voice of like knowing when you're being that bitch.
Yeah, but
if you're gonna be that bitch, do it intentionally.
But that's the thing, is that the girls that do that intentionally, that's almost all they are.
No, but I would disagree that they do it and they don't do it intentionally. They do it because that's what's worked.
That's what's working for them.
Not that because I'm purposely
laugh
writing
that
this.
I'm a whore.
Yeah.
Would you say that you prefer it to be like more of a satirical thing?
Then because then you are taking almost a third person look at yourself. A little more cerebral look at being a whore,
be
which is fun.
not two-dimensional.
Right? Yeah. Don't be flat. Exactly. For sure.
I feel like that's something that one of the biggest motivators for me was that type of thing, just because I saw it so much. And I remember not laughing, and I'm like, okay, am I not laughing because this is like a straight joke? But then I looked at my homies and they weren't laughing either. I'm like, okay, they're just not laughing because this isn't funny.
3 minutes of I'm a whore. I get it. Like,
Go suck a cock off stage.
Yeah. Now tell me why your mom's a whore. Let's go deep into this. Let's talk about your trauma.
Yeah. What a fascinating thing. It's definitely interesting seeing everybody's style of comedy evolve right before my eyes as a performer in your scene, you know.
My scene, our scene. We're doing it. We're doing this thing. We're at the beach, you know. We're riding waves.
And the scene you've created. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, I think it's been like maybe 3 or 4 times I've looked at you when the W is packed, there's people standing, and I've said like, you did this.
I did, but no one knows that. So and that's good, I guess. If not me, who?
Would you have figured out who was the buddy system if I hadn't told you who the buddy system was? Like
who was running it?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
No, damn, really?
But I'm not like there a lot, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there to watch you guys perform, and then I'm out of there usually.
Yeah. How would you say most people find the buddy system?
I don't know. That's my question every time I see a new face. I was like, how did you hear about this, yo?
You give them one of those cards.
Sometimes, though, like they'll be like, oh, you yelled at us like 6 months ago about this thing, and we were out, and we're like, oh, let's check it out. They're still doing it.
That.
Yeah,
that's
like,
so cool.
Like the more of like, we heard about it last time. We're here 6 months later. You're still here. Let's see.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what I would have done otherwise and hoping it continues to work.
It is working, and that's like the thing is I got pretty lucky. The way I found out about you guys was through word of mouth.
Yeah.
I was getting ready. I was sitting in my room writing for maybe like 4 or 5 months, and I was gearing up to go to the rec room.
Nice.
The one in Huntington on a Sunday night, because I was like, oh, this is when I Googled open mic. This is what popped up. Yeah. And I was like, shoot, like, it's a lottery. How do I, not, and I started thinking that, okay, it's an hour drive. I got to wait to get called up.
That's where like comedy classes do pay in dividends of like that weird, like, how do I start? They'll answer that question for you. A lot of people like hate on it because yes, I don't think you should pay $500 for a comedy class, but that seems to be the going rate. But it's good to have a guidance in the beginning of like, this is what the light means. Move the fucking mic stand, get out of the way, and be professional. Like it teaches them the craft of comedy so that now you can go enjoy it. Otherwise, like, it's like driver's ed. That's a good thing. We should all take driver's ed. And then go drive.
Did you take a comedy class?
No.
You're just recommending it for people who can't learn by observation.
Kind of. Because some people are stupid, they need to be walked through it.
I need to spell it out for you.
But I got lucky because the dean of comedy was hosting one of the mics I was going to regularly, and he would offer feedback, like solid, like, this is what I would tell my students to do. And obviously it was always like, hey, you should come take my class, plug. But he was giving good notes.
Fascinating.
And so that's what I took advantage of like, here's why I'm telling you to do this. And here, I was like, okay, cool, perfect. I'll do that.
Do people ask you for comedic advice?
No.
I asked you for that starting off.
I guess, but...
This fool said, writing and performing are non-negotiables. Try to be funny.
That sounds like solid advice. Yeah,
It was. And then I like remember reflecting. I'm like, fuck, why am I overthinking this thing? Like, just keep on showing up. And then that's what I did.
Yeah. And you made a very nice little pot of gold for yourself in, 2 years?
You're a little under a year and a half.
Yeah. So
I'm grateful.
Me too. It's good to be like, oh, Melissa's going out. Good. This isn't going to suck.
I'm grateful for that. See, I hate to feel like I'd be one of those persons.
Same. That would feel terrible.
Do you think those people know who they are?
No, I don't know how to tell them.
Do you
but
think
I
they
will.
lack?
I gladly will. Let me just say,
right.
If you come up to me.
Name drop right now. You heard it here, guys.
That's for the Patreon. Go to patreon.com.
Yeah, I'll set it up right now. Pay to watch us shit on people.
This is the extra large podcast.
I often wonder if those people lack that type of self-awareness in everything in their life.
Yeah. It might not be a priority to them, though. There's this new generation of comic that are just totally fine putting their work online, like their gym workout, essentially, online with unfinished jokes. And it doesn't... They're like, it's the process, and I'll get there eventually, which I respect, but I'm like...
I feel like the process they're trying to get is clout.
Maybe,
before.
Possibly, but I don't know.
Because you're not going to know if people laugh at what you say online.
Yeah. The people that post clips that don't have laughs, I don't know how they do that. I cannot. You don't rewatch it. You don't go look at it and go, the thing that's supposed to be there, I don't have any of it.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's a grandiose perspective of themselves. They don't think they could think that they could eat shit and be like, man, I was graceful.
They deserve a handicap placard then. They should park close to the target because they need help. Lots of help.
Such a fascinating perspective. Or like, and honestly, the position that you're in is so interesting because you watch everyone the whole night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a masterclass of what not to do in comedy.
What do you think about those people that buy books like Comedy for Dummies?
Some people need guidance. Some people just need vocabulary to put in their brain so that they can structure something. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine is you not moving the mic stand. Like you coming to a show and using your notes. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
As an audience member at a comedy show, Connor, do you feel like that removes you from the experience, the connectivity that you're experiencing with the person on stage when they pull out their phone or they pull out their notepad and like, oh, hold on a second?
It is kind of like, I understand it like at more of like a roast or something like that. But when I'm like watching someone like go up and do a set, like you notice it and it kind of takes away from like the immersion in a way of it, I guess, if that makes sense. They're not up there like talking to you anymore. They're up there reading off of something.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel like a conversation anymore. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a big part of it.
Yeah. It's hypnosis. It's a magic trick.
I'd be so sad if we're in the middle of a conversation right now and you're like, oh, hold on, I got to think of what I had to say.
Hang on, why do I like Melissa?
Yeah.
What folder is it in? It's buried somewhere.
Why did I even come do this podcast? Such a fascinating thing, honestly. I think what you do is pretty great. You put on shows as well. You're often or monthly at Ukaipa and Corona. Do you have any fun shows popping up in the IE? Anything you wanna?
Yeah, anything you wanna. Do
plug? I? I'm gonna be in Loma Linda at some point, and then I'm going to Strum Brewery in Ontario. I stay active. Like I said, I have fallen victim to being trapped in the buddy system prior. I've made some life changes, and now I can kind of focus on doing my own instead of focusing on other people's careers.
Yeah,
you know, like you guys can all do your own thing and do it however you're gonna do it, and so that allows me more freedom to do things. So I stay busy, but buddy system, I don't know. We'll do an Ontario improv at some point.
Yeah.
You know, we try to make it twice a year. We're pretty good about it for the last 4 or 5 years. So.
Are you interested in ever trying to go out to like a Brea improv or an Irvine
eventually,
improv?
But I think I have to, there has to be no empty seats in order to go somewhere else.
You want to sell out the Ontario improv?
Is that not the point? Like, why would you go and be like, hey, I can bring you 65 people? Like, ew.
Yeah, you're right.
Or we could just stay closed. That would devastate me. If I was like, hey, I would love to bring like 80 people. I'm like, no. That's still going to cost us money. Like, oh, man.
I mean, you guys were more than halfway there the last Ontario Improv.
Yeah, that was cool.
To me, that directly translates into you guys creating an impact around here locally.
I guess, yeah. I guess, you're right.
I want to slap this fool.
Circumstantially.
His humble attitude is killing me.
I'm Hawaiian, bro. We just go with the flow.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh man, it's so, gosh, like, cause I'd probably be walking around entitled if I was you.
I have my days. No, don't get me wrong. Like
I mean, I wore your sweater for our podcast.
Fuck.
Some days you're just walking around
on purpose.
Here's the thing. I go through life in my own sweater and I'm like, ew, dude, you're fucking that guy. It's like, but I am. I have an abundance of sweaters. What am I supposed to not wear them? Like,
no, wear them. Be proud of what you've created. It's cool.
I am. It's easy to be proud of what has been built when people like you come out of it. When there was proof in the pudding. Carlos, Mike, like the people that you see that are working now, like those people that are doing the thing that they're doing, that's the thing I'm proud of. Yeah. Them being able and watching them grow. That's dope. That's super fun. But this thing is kind of self-sustaining. I'm part of it too now. You know, it's like,
yeah. I feel grateful that I'm a part of it. You let me host mics and stuff like that, and it's really fucking fun.
Yeah. You gotta learn by doing it. It's like drifting, bro. You gotta learn by doing it.
You gotta do the voice for George Ferido, right? No. I like doing that. I don't know why. I always lose my voice after I host because I'm always saying everybody's name. So
yeah, you're really punching it out there. Some people don't do that though. You need to push it out. You have to put the voice out.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to get into it.
It's a performance. We don't want to hear you talk. I want to see you perform.
Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. That's what I think. That's who I'm trying to. What's that guy? I'm trying to friggin'
Michael
manifest
Buffer?
him. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it. So I put energy into my intros. If I'm running sound, the intro's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like doing that
we're
too.
gonna push some energy into this room.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we all choose
it's
to
so
be
fun.
here. Let's not pretend it's a fucking chore. Like, it's cool that we get to do this.
Oh yeah, everyone shows up. They show, and that's the difference. There's a difference between showing up and showing up.
Yeah.
It's you could tell when people show up.
The what else do I have to work on? I don't know. You came here for something.
Yeah. If you
Don't
didn't bring
ask.
anything
Yeah.
else, then we're not
Leave.
going to fish it out for you.
Yeah, get off the stage then. You're out of work. That's okay. Go. Like,
How do you kick off your creative process?
a good night's sleep. Honestly, there's nothing that gets around that.
Can you write if you're tired?
Yeah, I do. But having a good day is key to, like, at least my process. Because my style, whatever the fuck it is kind of just me. And if I am the best version of myself, at least mentally and emotionally, then I can do the best version of whatever the fuck I'm doing.
I like that.
I just try to not fuck around too much.
As far as
Unless
like,
it's a box of Krispy Kremes, I'm gonna fuck it up. I get 2 because one's for the drive home.
oh my God, you're just popping them in your mouth.
Yeah. If they're warm, they just melt. They just, so good.
Oh yeah, if I see that light on, I almost black out and I just find myself in the drive-through.
No, I
that
walk
happens.
in. I like to watch those minimum wage workers make my donuts.
You like?
Yeah.
Do you like asking for the free one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That shit's so gangster that they
Yeah.
still do that. Krispy Kreme, let's go. KK.
I haven't been to Krispy Kreme in so long.
All right, we're going after this. I have 2 Krispy Kreme gift cards.
Did you live where you lived when there was a Krispy Kreme in Canyon Crest?
No, I
Oh my
missed
God,
it.
those were the days.
Yeah, that was pretty sick when
heard.
we were kids.
Dude, that was the Krispy Kreme in Riverside. I remember every Sunday my pops would take me and I'd get the free donut and we'd get a dozen.
Nice.
And then they just wanted to be exclusive. And there's Krispy Kremes in Lebanon. There's more than they're closer. They're closer there
There's
than they are
Krispy
here.
Kreme in the Ralphs now. They get fresh donuts every day.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as, like, you get there early. Don't get them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's
That makes
stupid.
sense, yeah.
They get delivered at 9. You know. like,
Really?
yeah.
He knows what time to show up.
My alarm goes off at 8:30.
He's parked in his car. He sees the Krispy Kreme truck.
It's
He's
part
like,
of
okay,
my
let's
run.
You
No,
can
it's
see him
part of
rubbing
my.
his hands in the parking lot.
go. You run back home like this.
Yeah. Sexual, like a little Domino's guy.
You love donuts.
I do. I like sweets. I'm indulgent. Yeah, that's my deadly sin.
Same here. I think I'm
Whatever.
going to end up being type 2 diabetic.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's
I'm
what a
afraid
way to
of
go.
that. Yeah.
I had a good time. you
Good
know?
goals
You're here
to
for-
have.
Yeah.
Good goals.
Here
sure.
for a good time, not a long time.
For sure.
Interesting.
Hopefully, medicine has caught up to that by the time I'm there. But if not, I did it.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Are you the kind of guy that likes to have a little drinky drink or
Nope.
smoky smoke before you write or try to create?
No.
You try to do it clear?
I try to fit it into my day. If I'm about to smoke, then sure. But I can't. I have to. It's Jesus take the wheel at this point. Like, I try to just be ready when the ideas come.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So I write constantly, but almost not consistently.
Yeah.
Because I'm always putting something down. Like, oh, there's something.
I do feel bad when I'm in the middle of a conversation and something comes to my mind that I think is funny, and I'm like, oh, hold on one second, because if I try to tell myself like, oh, you'll remember, I won't remember it later.
That's why you got to get keywords. And then I hey Siri. I'm like, hey Siri, write a note. Blah blah blah. Cool, we're back. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'm retarded. Sorry. You know, like, I have to.
It literally does feel like something like, because I'll be present in a conversation, but if something comes to me, it's like this complete split brain thing that occurs where I'm like, I literally
There's
can't
a worker
focus.
in your brain. He's like, all right, I'm gonna file this here. No, I'm listening, but he's at work. Hang on.
Literally, that's how it is. Does that happen when a melody or anything musical comes to you?
Yeah, all the time.
I would have like a freaking piano on my phone, like ding, 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 ding.
William had a dry erase pen that he would write in his car on his window.
Clever.
Yeah, just to always have it. To, like, because I think that's the key. It's like, you just got to keep writing stuff.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I'm always in my room anyway, so everything's always right there.
Damn, that's so much fun.
Comedy's fun.
Do you think you would have found yourself in the same position now if you stayed in Hawaii?
No. I would have gotten a good warehouse job and probably would have just bought everything I wanted.
You would have been slightly miserable though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would probably made like YouTube videos or something until I couldn't.
Some people live their whole life without fulfillment.
That's sad. That sucks.
I'm like
That's
thinking
why.
about
That's
that right
why.
now.
Now that I
Thanks,
know,
Alyssa.
now that I've found my passion, it feels like a responsibility.
That's a good way to look at it. It's a responsibility to yourself.
Yeah, and the universe. If we are the only point in the universe where it becomes self-aware of itself, you shouldn't prevent the universe from expressing itself.
Okay. That's very true. God, I love it. Comedy is honestly one of the best things I think I've found. If I was someone that was like a drug addict, like heroin ruined my life, and I was sober for 10 years, comedy would still be the best thing that I found.
Comedy's the best drug. Comedy's the best drug.
It is. It feels like a drug.
Yeah.
It feels like a drug. That's what I consider it. It's like a hit. And it's funny. Like bigger rooms are so scary. And the hit is so rewarding. But I realize it's not as beneficial as, how do you say it? Paddling as hard as you can in a room for 40 people, 30 people, and trying to get them to be on the same page as you. It's so much harder.
Earning it, really, really putting the work in, getting it, and then having them go, that was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Go, oh, fuck.
Why is that harder?
I don't know. They're not pre-captivated, I guess. Like in a bar where people are like, this is an open mic night. We didn't even know there was an open mic night. Like to earn their respect. Like to earn someone's, I mean, they make fucking movies out of people just earning their strong side. You know, all they're doing is earning each other's respect. There's something about probably that mammalian brain where like, oh, this is my people. They get me. They fucking see me.
They understand me.
They get me. They really see my soul. And then they laugh and validate you. You're like, oh, they love me. I can run for president. You know, like crazy shit.
This is awesome, man. I had a good time.
This is fun. Yeah. Thank you for
coming.
Me. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys heard it here. The Patreon's going to come out. We're going to tell you guys everyone George Ferido hates.
Yep.
We're going to unveil the conspiracies. No.
We can. I'm down.
I don't believe you hate anyone, dude.
Let's monetize trauma. Let's do it. Hollywood's doing it.
Anything you want to plug before this comes out?
Just follow me. If you're interested and you like what I do, follow me on Instagram at the Buddy System Co. and at the George F.
They'll be somewhere right here.
Yeah, we'll be plugging it for you.
They don't have to be though. No,
they will be. It was super fun having you. I had a great time.
Thank you for having me. This is
Connor,
fun.
you met George officially.
Yep. Nice to meet you, George.
Nice to officially meet you.
Officially, yeah.
We shared space.
We have shared space. I've seen
this
you
is
do
COVID
comedy.
violation, so great.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. You heard it here, guys. All right.
The studio's not up to snuff here. OSHA.
I know there's trip hazards everywhere. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you always. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.